In the grand narrative structure of A Record of a Mortal's Journey to Immortality, author Wang Yu skillfully employs a narrative strategy of progressively unfolding large and small instances, each serving as a prelude to the next. This strategy not only creates a well-paced and layered plot but also subtly reveals character traits, deepens relationships, and foreshadows the grander and more dangerous adventures to come. The exploration of Tsankuan Shangren's cave serves as a brilliant prelude and preview of the crucial later dungeon, Fallen Demon Valley. The initiator and core figure of this dungeon is the renowned Nanlong Marquis, a powerful cultivator in the Qiannan region who has reached the peak of the mid-nascent soul stage. As a descendant of the former nascent soul cultivator Tsankuan Shangren, Nanlong Marquis has existed for over 1,000 years, and his cultivation has been at the mid-nascent soul stage for over 300 years. In terms of strength, knowledge, and shrewdness, he is arguably the most outstanding figure in the Qiannan cultivation world. For Han Li, the newly promoted nascent soul cultivator of the Luoyun sect, Nanlong Marquis is a distant and unfamiliar figure. Although Han Li's senior brother, Lu Luo, had met him once while accompanying their master, Master Mu Li, Han Li, a newcomer to the nascent soul realm, was not yet renowned enough to reach the ears of such a veteran powerhouse. However, fate intertwined the two in the struggle for the legacy of Tsankuan Shangren. Through the initial gathering and probing in the early stages of the dungeon, and a series of thrilling encounters and battles during the dungeon itself, Han Li, a newly promoted cultivator initially disregarded by Nanlong Hu, forcefully reversed Nanlong Hu's perception with a series of unexpected performances. Nanlong Hu's attitude towards Han Li gradually shifted from initial unfamiliarity and possible contempt to astonishment, respect, and even deep fear and reliance. This article aims to analyze in detail the 10 key perceptions Nanlong Hu formed about Han Li through the window of the Tsankuan Shangren cave dungeon. These perceptions, like pieces of a puzzle, gradually constructed a complex image of Han Li in Nanlong Hu's mind, a man of unfathomable strength, numerous methods, and a mysterious background directly influencing subsequent team decisions and interpersonal interactions during the Fallen Demon Valley adventure. The unfathomable power of divine sense. The first clash between cultivators often begins with an invisible test of divine sense. When Nanlong Hu first encountered Han Li, although he treated him with outward courtesy, a secret sparring of divine sense was inevitable due to the habitual scrutiny of a powerful figure towards a junior, and the need to assess his strength to determine his eligibility for the dungeon. Theoretically, there is an almost insurmountable gap between the early and middle stages of the nascent soul realm, a gap particularly pronounced in the strength of the primordial spirit and the scope of divine sense. Not only Nanlong Hu himself, but even his fellow disciple Lu Luo, who had witnessed Nanlong Hu's power, did not believe that Han Li could contend with this peak stage mid-stage expert on the level of divine sense. However, the result of the sparring astonished everyone in the know. Han Li's divine sense not only remained as stable as a mountain, resisting Nanlong Hu's probing, but also displayed a resilient and unyielding strength, achieving a stalemate with Nanlong Hu in a short period of time. What alarmed Nanlong Hu even more was that he keenly sensed Han Li wasn't using his full strength. The depth of Han Li's spiritual foundation was likely still reserved, and there was even a possibility that he might surpass Nanlong Hu himself. This silent contest completely overturned Nanlong Hu's conventional judgment based on cultivation level. It sent this old monster a clear and unmistakable signal. The young man in the green robe before him was no ordinary early-stage nascent soul cultivator. His cultivation of his primordial spirit must have involved some earth-shattering encounter or unique secret technique. This realization was the primary foundation for Nanlong Hu to abandon his contempt for Han Li and formally include him in his list of potential collaborators. 2. Inconceivable cultivation talent. In the path of cultivation, while spiritual root aptitude isn't the sole determining factor, it is the foundation of cultivation speed. Han Li possessed 4 pseudo-spiritual roots, meaning only 4 of the 5 elements metal, wood, water, fire, and earth were weakly manifested and mutually restraining, which, according to common knowledge in the cultivation world, would be considered a type with low aptitude and a difficult path. However, despite this very foundation, Han Li successfully condensed his nascent soul at the age of 217, joining the ranks of high-level cultivators in Qiannan. Such a cultivation speed is extremely rare, even in the history of Qiannan, making him a peerless genius. While the Marquis of Nanlong might not have initially known much about Han Li's background, Wang Chan, the young master of the Ghost Spirit sect, and his uncle Wang Tuangu, due to old grudges, knew Han Li's growth trajectory in great detail. At the first gathering of the 9-person team before the Tsankuan dungeon opened, Wang Chenggu, with a half-smile, publicly praised Han Li, pointing out his astonishing feat of breaking through from the foundation establishment stage to the nascent soul stage in just 200 years, and predicting that he had a great chance of reaching the late nascent soul stage. These words, seemingly praise, were actually an extremely insidious attempt to undermine him, aiming to place Han Li in the spotlight and arouse the jealousy and vigilance of the other nascent soul stage cultivators present. As expected, these words caused a slight change in the expressions of all the cultivators, including Marquis Nanlong, who fell into a brief silence. Marquis Nanlong's silence contained multiple considerations. He had to reassess Han Li's potential threat and growth ceiling. A person whose cultivation speed was so heaven-defying, regardless of the circumstances, possessed extraordinary luck and resilience. Enemying such a person required extreme caution, while cooperating with him might allow him to share in his extraordinary fortune. Han Li's cultivation talent thus became a striking and uncertain label in Marquis Nanlong's mind. 3. Exquisite and unparalleled mastery of array formations. The reason why Marquis Nanlong hesitated for centuries to enter the cave of the Tsankuan Immortal was due to the ancient and wondrous array at its entrance, a divine restriction that was the key obstacle. Unable to break it himself, Marquis Nanlong had no choice but to invite fellow cultivators, gathering the strength of 9 people to try and break it together. The team originally included Wang Chenggu, a renowned expert in array formations from the southern regions. However, after witnessing the Tai Miao divine restriction, he too retreated, hesitant to attempt it for fear of damaging his reputation. Unexpectedly, as the group arrived at the cave entrance and discussed methods to break the formation, Han Li stepped forward alone. After careful observation and deduction, he silently and skillfully broke the restriction that had plagued Marquis Nanlong for years. This action not only embarrassed Wang Chenggu but also caused Marquis Nanlong's opinion of Han Li to skyrocket. This was no longer merely understanding array formations, it had reached the level of a master, even a grandmaster, capable of independently breaking complex restrictions left over from ancient times. Even more astonishing was yet to come. When the situation in the later stages of the dungeon deteriorated rapidly, and Marquis Nanlong and Han Li were forced to join forces to break through, Han Li was able to once again activate and manipulate the remaining power of the broken Tai Miao divine restriction to hinder the enemy. This demonstrated that his understanding of the formation had reached its core, achieving a level of mastery and application. As the one who proposed the formation requirement, Marquis Nanlong felt this most acutely. He realized that Han Li's ability in formations was likely the highest in the team, perhaps even exceeding his initial expectations. This ability would be invaluable in the perilous exploration of ancient cultivator caves. Fugulk, a mountain-shaped ancient treasure with astounding power. During the fierce battles in the Tsankuan cave, Han Li unleashed a newly acquired powerful ancient treasure, 1,000 Peaks. This treasure originated from Master Mu of the Mulan sect, possessing mysterious functions. It could transform into a towering mountain for powerful physical suppression, and also possessed the rare ability of teleportation, allowing it to appear unexpectedly above enemies, making it impossible to defend against. Han Li used this treasure twice. The first time against the cultivator surnamed Yu, 1,000 Peaks instantly grew to 7 or 8 zhong high, striking with immense force. The second time, when facing the siege of Wang Chenggu and others, the giant peak teleported directly above them, forcing them to retreat hastily, unable to withstand the attack. It was precisely the brief opening created by 1,000 Peaks' teleportation attack that allowed Marquis Nanlong to unleash his killing move and turn the tide of the battle. Marquis Nanlong witnessed the power of this treasure firsthand. Even the mid-nascent soul cultivator surnamed Yun was wary of 1,000 Peaks' suppressive power and dared not directly confront it. For the well-informed Marquis Nanlong, an ancient treasure possessing both powerful physical attack and unpredictable spatial teleportation capabilities was of extremely high strategic value. It not only demonstrated Han Li's diverse attack methods but also signified that Han Li possessed a trump card capable of disrupting the battlefield balance and creating opportunities at crucial moments. Marquis Nanlong had no choice but to include this treasure as a key factor in assessing Han Li's combat strength. Swift as lightning, a lightning escape treasure. Speed is a crucial ability for cultivators to survive and pursue. Although Han Li did not explicitly state it, the fact that he possessed a rare double-winged lightning escape treasure, the Wind and Thunder Wings, had already been detected by Marquis Nanlong and others through his actions. Even before the dungeon expedition, Nanlong Hu and his companions had heard or witnessed the famous flying magic weapon, the Wind Chariot, used by the Mulan mage to pursue Han Li, only to return empty-handed. Han Li had easily evaded this with his escape techniques, which had already aroused Nanlong Hu's suspicions. However, during the battle with the cultivator surnamed Yu inside the cave, Han Li's wings flashed, accompanied by silver arcs of electricity instantly appearing beside his opponent. This clearly demonstrated that he was using the rarer and faster lightning escape technique, which typically surpasses wind escape. Lightning escape technique is renowned for its swift activation and unpredictable trajectory, and is widely recognized as one of the most difficult escape techniques to defend against in the cultivation world. Han Li's mastery of this technique and its refinement into a magic weapon meant that he possessed significant initiative and a high degree of survival guarantee, whether launching a surprise attack, engaging in hit-and-run maneuvers, or disengaging from the battlefield. For Nanlong, who sought reliable allies in his perilous adventure, having teammates with top-tier speed undoubtedly greatly increased the team's overall mobility and chances of escape. 6. The extremely cold ice flame that freezes a nascent soul. In his life-or-death duel with the cultivator surnamed Yu, Han Li displayed a divine ability that sent chills down the spines of all onlookers, the Azure ice flame. This flame, a deep blue in color, contained extreme cold, capable of instantly freezing and destroying the physical body and protective aura of an early-stage nascent soul cultivator. Its power reached a terrifying level, nearly capable of instantly killing someone of the same level. At the time, the battle was critical. Upon seeing this, Marquis Nanlong was initially overjoyed, as Han Li's action quickly weakened the enemy's strength, creating favorable conditions for his own breakout. However, after calming down, a chilling thought crept in. Even with Marquis Nanlong's peak mid-stage nascent soul cultivation, it might be possible to cleanly and decisively eliminate someone of the same level, but instantly killing an early-stage nascent soul cultivator was by no means easy. Han Li achieved this with this strange blue ice flame, indicating that he possessed an extreme attack method capable of drastically bridging the gap in cultivation levels and posing a deadly threat. Marquis Nanlong was forced to reassess Han Li's true combat strength. This young man was not merely capable of self-defense, his offensive abilities were equally terrifying, enough to pose a serious threat to any nascent soul cultivator, including himself. A deep sense of dread was thus sown. 7. A horrifying army of strange insects. During the breakout, after Marquis Nanlong temporarily trapped Wang Tenggu and the others within the crystal wall, the enemy immediately launched a fierce attack. After a moment's hesitation, Han Li threw out a spirit beast pouch. Instantly, hundreds of thousands of three-colored gold-eating insects surged forth like a tidal wave, buzzing and blotting out the sky. Even more astonishingly, Han Li skillfully used the profound insect-repelling technique of the spirit control sect, causing some of the gold-eating insects to instantly condense into a shimmering, three-colored insect armor on his body. This scene deeply shocked Marquis Nanlong. The gold-eating insects were already infamous in the cultivation world, difficult to cultivate, and their power increased exponentially upon evolving to the three-colored stage. Han Li's ability to cultivate such a vast number of tricolor gold-eating insects, and to control them with such exquisite skill, even transforming them into armor, demonstrates that his mastery of spirit insect cultivation and insect control techniques has also reached the Grandmaster level. This insect army is not only a powerful means of area attack and defense, but also an excellent tool for reconnaissance and harassment. Although Marquis Nanlong was too busy escaping to inquire further, this matter must have left a deep impression on him, making him realize that Han Li, in addition to his personal magical treasures, also possessed a biological army capable of changing the course of the battle. 8. Lightning divine ability combining offense and defense. Besides his lightning escape magical treasure, Han Li also displayed another lightning attribute divine ability. When facing the fierce electric arc attack released by the cultivator surnamed Yu using his blue good, Han Li neither dodged nor evaded. As a layer of pale golden electric net automatically appeared around him, amidst thunderous roars, he easily absorbed all the incoming blue electric arcs. This was the evil repelling divine lightning originating from the green bamboo bee cloud sword, the natal magical treasure of the golden thunder bamboo. While Nanlong and his companions might not immediately recognize the long-lost evil repelling divine thunder, they were absolutely certain of what lightning magic meant in the cultivation world: supremely young and powerful, capable of dispelling evil and exorcising demons, possessing immense restraint against demonic and ghostly techniques, and boasting extremely high attack speed, making it difficult to defend against. Han Li's ability to so effortlessly neutralize an arc attack of equal strength and demonstrate the absorption properties of his lightning magic further enriched and reinforced Nanlong's impression of Han Li's diverse methods and profound foundation. The existence of lightning magic made Han Li's attack system more comprehensive and adaptable to different enemies. 9. Key tokens concerning Fallen Demon Valley. The most crucial treasure in the Tsankuan cave was 6 mysterious jade boxes. Because Han Li's spirit beast, Silver Moon, had infiltrated beforehand and secretly taken 3, Nanlong Hu and his group only obtained 3 upon entering. These 3 jade boxes initially belonged entirely to Nanlong Hu. However, in the ensuing chaos and escape, Marquis Nanlong, in an attempt to win over Han Li to fight the pursuers and also with the intention of diverting the enemy's attention, tossed one of the jade boxes to Han Li. As a descendant of Kangkuan, Marquis Nanlong, while not fully aware of the specific items inside each jade box, must have heard of or guessed that it might contain a key item related to the Fallen Demon Valley, another secret realm left behind by Kangkuan. Combining information from various sources and Han Li's behavior, Marquis Nanlong could almost certainly conclude that the jade box in Han Li's possession contained one of the most essential treasures for entering the Fallen Demon Valley, the Yin-Yang Ring or related clues components. This realization was crucial. It meant that Han Li was indispensable if one wanted to unlock and explore the Fallen Demon Valley, a much larger instance that might contain opportunities for nascent soul cultivation. This directly constituted the core motivation and basis for Marquis Nanlong's willingness to humble himself and again proactively and politely invite Han Li to join him in exploring the Fallen Demon Valley after the Kangkuan instance ended. 10. Irreconcilable feud with the Ghost Spirit Sect. Han Li's enmity with the Ghost Spirit Sect, especially with its young master Wang Chan, was made public during the team's first gathering. During the chaotic escape from the Tsankuan cave, even in his own perilous situation, Han Li seized the opportunity to sever Wang Chan's legs with a sharp sword light, escalating the feud to an irreconcilable point. Nanlong Hu's trip to Tsankuan ended in a dismal failure, largely due to the meticulous scheming and betrayal of Wang Tuangu and others from the Ghost Spirit Sect. Therefore, Nanlong Hu naturally felt a latent sense of identification with Han Li, who also harbored deep hatred for the Ghost Spirit Sect. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. In the perilous and unpredictable world of cultivation, having a common, powerful enemy can sometimes provide a relatively stable bond of cooperation. Nanlong Hu realized that Han Li's antagonistic stance towards the Ghost Spirit Sect made him a reliable ally in any future actions against the sect or in any situation requiring confrontation with them. This trust, based on shared interests, was also a key factor in Nanlong Hu's willingness to invite Han Li to cooperate again. In conclusion, through the Tsankuan Shangren's cave, a miniature instance condensing trials, cooperation, betrayal, and life or death struggles, Nanlong Hu, a veteran at the peak of the mid-nascent soul stage, underwent a comprehensive and profound update in his understanding of Han Li. From initial unfamiliarity and potential underestimation of this newly promoted cultivator, he gradually recognized Han Li's extraordinary strength, far surpassing his peers in many aspects, including divine sense, talent, formations, magic weapons, escape techniques, supernatural abilities, spirit insects, and the use of lightning strength that even posed a threat to him. Simultaneously, he also discerned that Han Li possessed a crucial token and shared a common enemy with his side, the Ghost Spirit Sect. These fragments of understanding ultimately pieced together an image. Han Li was no ordinary person. His strength was deeply hidden, his methods were endless, and his luck and opportunities were heaven-defying. Although his cultivation level was slightly inferior, considering his combined danger and utility, he was fully qualified to stand on equal footing with a mid-stage nascent soul cultivator, and even deserved to be treated with equality and a touch of apprehension. As the text states, every nascent soul cultivator was a man of meticulous thought and far-sighted calculation. The perilous situation in the Tsankuan instance might have limited Nanlong Hu's immediate thinking, but in retrospect, he would undoubtedly have repeatedly pondered and carefully analyzed Han Li's various actions. The final conclusion he reached led to a fundamental shift in his attitude when inviting Han Li to participate in the more risky adventure of the Fallen Demon Valley, from an initial potential for condescension or a transactional exchange to a polite, cautious, and even slightly apprehensive stance of equal cooperation. This shift not only demonstrates Nanlong Hu's astute judgment as a seasoned powerhouse, but also indirectly highlights how Han Li, through his own strength and actions, has earned his place and respect in the cruel upper echelons of the cultivation world. The Tsankuan instance, as the prelude to the grand drama of the Fallen Demon Valley, served one of its most important functions, establishing Han Li's image and confirming his status among the top cultivators of Tiannan. Nanlong Hu's changing perception is the most vivid and concrete portrayal of this process.